Good morning and welcome. This is another edition of Dawn on VOS TV. My name is Dan Nessie Isumeka, and yes, it's good to be here again. We're going to be looking at some of the headlines making our national dailies this morning. It is Tuesday, the 13th day of the month of April 2021. As usual, we have our wonderful guest, Sri Ayodele from the Nigerian Tribune with us. Good morning, Sri.
Dan, good to see you again.
Yes, it's good to have you here. And it's been interesting behind the cameras. We've been having a quite interesting conversation and we're just starting up. So we have the Nigerian Tribune, the Vanguard, and the Nation with us this morning. And as we always have it most of the time, we have screamers from security matters here and there. But before we dive into what's happening in Benue State right here in front of the Tribune, we have a headline here: moon-sighted Ramadan begins, the Sultan says. So this is for our Muslim brothers and sisters out there who join us on VOS TV. We say welcome to the month of Ramadan, Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Kareem to come.
Yes, Ramadan Kareem, and hopefully you utilize the next 29 or 30 days and get maximize the benefits of the month. So if we move quickly now, the screamer you find on the front of the Nigerian Tribune: Otom apologizes as army buries 12 soldiers killed by bandits in Benue State. And details of this can be found on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. And initially, I think they were saying about it was 2 people that...
Yeah, I think the apology is not about the guys that died. It's about his claim that only 2 people died initially. And then at the end of the day, discovered that 12 soldiers died. So he had to apologize for that. But beyond that apology, that tells us something. Otom is a governor. Before you come to the public to come and speak, why don't you process it very well? Get your facts and figures correctly and before you come to public. What were you trying to do when you said only 2 people died? Even if only 1 person.
Yeah.
And everybody's supposed to die the way those soldiers were killed by bandits and the rest. And we keep on having this issue. In the north central, north east, northwest. Bandits, Boko Haram, kidnappers, all of that. It's unfortunate.
But this is basically coming, I don't even know how to explain this right now. It's bandits everywhere.
But this time around, it's not that they even killed civilians. Soldiers that were trained to kill, trained in the acts of marksmanship, trained in the acts of weapon handling and the rest. If 12 of them could be killed like that, then what hope do you have for the common civilian or the bloody civilian, quote and unquote? So this, look, every day we wake up and keep on talking about bloodletting, about killing, about violence, about banditry, about kidnapping and all sorts of violence in this country. You keep on wondering, what kind of people are we in this country? Do we still have government in place? Is this how we are going to continue?
And the reaction now from the Nigerian army towards this?
No. It's expected. You can't kill 12 soldiers and you expect the army or the air force or to go back to their barracks and then be mourning and be crying. And then no. Once you do this kind of thing, you should expect that, okay, you set fire, then the fire must spread. Yeah. It's the only unfortunate aspect is that in the process of getting at these bandits and the rest, 1 or 2 innocent individuals will be affected. And that is why every community, everybody should also be conscious. When you see all these bad guys around you, please raise the red flag. Let the authorities know.
And also, these, would I say now, the vigilantes that have going around,
I think the vigilantes are restricted to the main cities. You don't see them on the highways and the rest now. And for instance, in Benin City where we live, where we operate from, the presence of the vigilante has been able to bring a sense of a kind of sanity to the situation. And how you don't hear about car snatching, don't hear about all these bad boys jumping on you while you are in the traffic, bringing out guns and the rest. They are doing a wonderful job, at least for here in Benin City.
But that's another thing. Now, shouldn't they now find a way to go into certain areas, probably to get information?
And I think what vigilantes should now develop into is community policing. I keep on saying it, and I'm sold on that. And I don't think anybody will change that mindset. The entire first circular where we are, we should get guys that are resident here, that are indigenous of this environment, recruit them into the police force, or train them and everything, and let them police this area. You go to Upper Sapamba, let Upper Sapamba boys police Upper Sapamba. You go to Ekenwa Road, get boys who are living in Ekenwa Road, and you do it in virtually every community. All these issues we are talking about, we go down. In your area, in your neighborhood, you know the bad boys. Yeah, if for instance, when we were growing up in the village, if any goat is missing or any chicken is missing, we know the family to go to and say, Baba, don't go to market tomorrow. We are looking for our goat. So that is what we are talking about community policing.
Okay. All right, let's move quickly now to the Vanguard. The screamer, many feared dead, injured, 3 villages sacked in Ebonyi. This is coming, would I say, day after the Ebube was inaugurated, the security architecture in the southeast. And, houses burned. The rider to that, a suspected assailant attack Ebonyi community. Only 4 persons were killed, says the state governor, that's Dave Umahi. And we are yet to confirm whether they were headsmen or Gila people, says the monarch.
What? Ebonyi. For Ebonyi, I'm very, very a little bit reserved when I want to talk about the character. I mean, the governor that is in Ebonyi State, David Umahi. I'm telling you, without any sense, any intention to be rude or to be immodest, that guy is a very funny character. Very funny character in every aspect of it. Look, when this crisis started, what was his position? The issue of herdsmen, cow rearers attacking villagers is not new to us. And every state, when this issue, especially in the last 4 or 5 months, have been taking proactive steps to make sure that this thing doesn't occur. But he sat down there, playing politics with the people, thinking ahead of 2023, what will happen to the Southeast, who will become president, who will become vice president, and everything, at the expense of the security of lives and property in the state. About 2 weeks ago, they struck in the village there, killing about 25 people. It was so bad that he himself asked local government chairmen in the state to form vigilante group to protect themselves and everything. 2 weeks down the line again, they are back in that village. Whether it is one person or not, we keep on saying it. No Nigerian decides to die the way we are being killed in this country. So the Ebonyi case and the security outfit, Edubeagu, that they set up, we only hope that when that security outfit takes up fully, you'll be able to address some of these issues, like it's happening in the Southwest. It's not that we don't record violence in Southwest again and everything, but at least it has reduced. And then we have the assurance that at any point in time that any of these bad guys strike, there is a kind of a quick response that you get almost immediately from that environment, not necessarily waiting for the commissioner of police in the state capital or for Abuja to give the order. You can easily call the Amotekun in Ekiti and say, move into Ilejemeji or move into any part of the state, and they will move. So we hope that when Ebubeagu takes off in the southeast, they will be able to get a response to this. But before then, the political leadership of the southeast also need to sit down this time around and begin to ask personal questions, probe, ask questions, interrogate. What exactly do you even want? What is even the stake? What is the fate of an average southeasterner in the federation called Nigeria? And that is where the issue is at. Because look, we know the modus operandi of these herdsmen, these Fulani herdsmen. When there's a crisis somewhere else, they give you just a little bit, maybe 1 week, 2 weeks. When you have relaxed, you think that everything is over, they come back to strike again. So if they attack this village A, village B should also be ready, knowing fully well that they will come. And this has been the pattern.
But like what the monarch said they are not really sure whether
they are playing. Okay, fine, it's spirit that killed them. Who have they been having problems? You keep on playing politics with this. Can we just call spade a spade and not just call it by the name? If they are herdsmen, call them herdsmen. If you know that there are bandits that are indigenous of Ebonyi State, call them out, that our bad boys are the ones killing our people, and let us know. Stop playing politics. Who is the man trying to pacify? Who is he trying to please? Who is the monarch trying to please? They are killing your people. You are saying you don't identify those. Okay, fine. Spirits came from the outer world to come and kill them, and then they disappeared. I don't get it.
All right. Speaking about politics now, this is from looking forward to 2023. It says Igbo presidency not negotiable. Says Mbazulike Amechi, Ezeife, and others.
Not negotiable. You just have to put your house in order first before you begin to tell us that it's not negotiable.
Well, this is not the first time.
No. Did you read the Arewa Consultative Forum statement?
Yes.
that, okay, well, we are going to support restructuring of the country, but we are not going to negotiate. We are not going to sit down with anybody to talk about rotational presidency. So, in essence, our Consultative Forum has told everybody that the presidency is an exclusive preserve of the North. Now, the Southeasterners are telling us that it's not negotiable. So, for instance, if you don't get it in 2023, what do you do? If you say it's not negotiable and it doesn't come your way, don't forget that in the Southwest too, we are not sleeping.
Yes.
On the matter. So it's everybody that wants. Now you now ask yourself, why is it that everybody is interested in going to that central? What is even there in that presidency? That the Yoruba man wants to die to get there, the Igbo man wants to die to get there, the Hausa, the Fulani, or the average Northerner wants to hold on to it. It's because you've created a monster in the name of the presidency. You've made that office so much attractive. You've given it so much power, that power of life and death over the entire country. And that is why everybody is angling to be in Abuja to occupy Aso Rock. If you are practicing true federalism, where everybody, each region controls its resources, we manage whatever we have in the Southwest, we manage whatever we have in the Southeast, we manage whatever we have in the South, and we pay just either royalty or tax to the federal government. Nobody wants to dare to go away. That's why the whole region will come together and say it's not negotiable. Fine. The question I keep on asking is, if you don't get it in 2023, what do you do? So when you talk like this, we should face the reality. Politics is no longer about issuing threats and the rest, like the Matawale of this one will tell us, we will kill in the north, we will do reprisal, and it's about negotiation. And Arewa has told you what the only thing they're ready to negotiate is restructuring. Probably they will allow you people down south here to keep a greater percentage of your oil money, but the presidency is not for you. So we have a lot to do about this. A long way to go about this. So when an average Easterner is talking this way, it's not negotiable and everything. We just have it off.
So we'll be looking at now finding a way to rotate the presidency or finding the best person from wherever to be there.
Dan, if you are going to continue the federation as it is, the best thing would be to rotate the presidency. And speaking with every sense of sincerity, the Southeast has my sympathy over this issue. I'm telling you, the conspiracy against the Southeast is so palpable that you can sit on it. After the Civil War, and they told us, no victor, no vanquish. Tell me, what other sensitive position have you ever given to the Southeast? In this present administration, how many of the sensitive positions,
even from the
security apparently, they are not there?
Yeah.
Nothing. So you keep on marginalizing this group. And to worsen the situation, the president that we have now, President Buhari, when he won the election, he sat down, he analyzed the number of votes he got, and he said, for those who gave me 5% of the votes, then I will do only 5% for them. Those who gave me 85%, I'll do 85% for them. And that's exactly what has been happening. Go to the Southeast. How many federal presidents do you have there? And that is one of the reasons why this agitation for self-determination is gaining attraction by the day. You don't want these people to go quite good. You want the federation to remain fine. Then give them their fair share of the national cake. Let them have that sense of belonging. They fought in the Civil War. They were defeated, so to say. But you said that nobody was defeated, nobody won that election. But since 1967 that the war ended till now, what has the Igbo man gained in the federation you call Nigeria? So, again, when you now visit this statement, it's not negotiable. You also need to understand where they are coming from. That section of the country have been so marginalized by the entire nation, either from the big guys, they've marginalized them too much. And if you want them to remain in it, please, let's all sit down. Let's rotate this thing. We have a Fulani man there now from the Northwest. Can this thing come down south? If it's coming down south, we don't sit down. Is it coming to Southwest? Is it coming to South? Or is it coming to Southeast? And since the beginning of this dispensation, if we are talking about North and South having it, it's only the Southeast that has not gotten there. So if it's coming down south, I don't think it is a bad idea if you sit down and say, okay, you guys from the Southeast, give us a candidate that all of us can support. But that's my thinking. Politics is a different ball game.
All right, still looking towards the election matters. Now, Jonathan has said ballots and not courts should decide election winners. And while talking about this before we started recording, you talked about him towing the line of confidence in the electoral system.
I think what the former president is trying to say here is that, let's build a kind of confidence around the electoral system, such that if I contest an election with you down, and you are declared winner at the end of the day, I should be able to sit down, analyze the whole structure, analyze the whole success, and come to a conclusion that you won on a fair day. If that is the case, there won't be any point for me challenging your victory in any court. That's exactly what the man is saying. And what can get us to this level is, one, make the Independent National Electoral Commission independent in content and in character. A situation where the INEC chairman is appointed by the city president, it cannot be independent. The man who appointed you determines what you do in the office, because he has the power to also fire you. The man who can hire you can also fire you. Yes. So what the man is saying in essence, what President Jonathan is saying in essence, is that let us develop that kind of confidence, build it around our electoral system, that at any point in time, everybody will be satisfied with the outcome of any election. And how do you achieve that? We'll be talking about e-voting. You don't need to send anybody. For instance, on the day of election, there's restriction of movement. As at the time I registered for, voters register, I was working on Mission Road. There was a registration center by Mopai primary school. I registered there. I stay off, down, far away from that place. On the day of election, I can't move around. I can't even come out to come and vote, because where I registered is very far away from from where I stay, and there is no movement on the day of the election. But if you have e-voting and you have the application on my phone, I can sit down and after downloading the application, I go to the platform and say, okay, I'm voting for party A or party B. End of story. By the time you do that, and you are doing it, it's like ATM machine. As you are slotting in your car, you press the button, you withdraw your money, you get the alert that you have withdrawn so amount of money, and this is your balance. And everybody will know it. So all this idea of putting one talk by the primary school there, the moment you want to count the ballot, the swap on the people, all those things will be eliminated. So that is the kind of confidence I think the man is asking.
That's one, and also the mindset of the politicians who are participating in the elections as well.
No. The mindset of the politician is also there. Is a factor. I won't deny it. But when you take away the process from them, if you have e-voting, the process is taken away from them. They give you money. They give people money or rice or indomie. The last election, we were there monitoring and everything. Some people were sharing 4,000, some 2,000. At a point, they increase the. You are doing that because people are still going physically to go and kick. You don't come to my house and begin to. Before you even come, all these things we are talking about, you don't need anybody to go and kick. We've already registered, and you just log in onto the the platform, and the whole thing is done. So you have the mindset of the politicians about moving around with money or trying to. Will be eliminated.
But there's been some little whispers, because you mentioned e-voting now, around some corners, because now we have network providers who have their most senior officers being affiliated to certain political parties. And we've also seen in recent times in the continent where during elections in some countries, the internet is being shut down.
Fine. We can't eliminate all those ones. But let me ask you these questions. Who are the people making it possible for you to do e-banking? Hey, this same internet. We are not saying that spirits will come and man the e-voting equipment. No, it's human being. But at least it will give us a level above this stage we are. What we are now is prehistoric. The type of voting we are doing is the one that they did during the time of Abraham and Jacob in the Old Testament. We should have gotten beyond that level. So the the political affiliation of the owners of the the networks and the rest. Yes, it could be there, but you are already taking away this. How many things do you want to manipulate? For instance, if you withdraw money from the bank, or you're from the ATM, and you didn't get the money, what do? You complain now. For instance, if I knew that I voted for party A, and then the result is showing that I voted for party B, I will complain. There will be room for that. But at least let us even try it. Let's get out of this idea of carrying paper from one place to the other. Did you go to monitor election, the last governorship election? Did you see where they pasted the list of voters and everything? You even get there, people are struggling to check whether my name is on the, everything rowdy and it's terrible.
All right. Let's move away from that one. Let's take the final one from the Vanguard before we look at what's happening in the nation. Resident doctors threaten to resume strike in 4 weeks if their demands are not met. They just resumed work yesterday, and they're coming out to say again, like, if their demands are not met within 4 weeks, they are going back on the strike.
Now, I don't understand. The whole thing is becoming like a kind of, I don't know how to put it. When you went on strike, were there no demands? Why did you call up the strike if you didn't get what you were looking for? Oh, promissory note. It's because of promissory note. That's why you went, because they didn't fulfill their initial one. That's why you went on strike. They gave you another promissory note. You collected it. You are saying so if in 4 weeks' time, all these conditions, all these agreements are not fulfilled, you are back to. I don't understand. Even the leadership of the NMAs, they need to sit down and ask, what exactly do you want? Can you make this thing holistic? That, okay, these are our demands, realistic demands. The government agreed that, yes, you are entitled to all this. Until we get it, you are not coming to work. Once and for all, so that we end all this idea of we are going on strike today, we call it off, in 4 weeks we are coming back. It doesn't make sense to me. You went on strike because government did not fulfill the agreement they signed with you in the first instance. Now, they negotiated with you. You are threatening again that if in 4 weeks' time, and I'm sure this government that is deaf and dumb will do anything. In 4 weeks' time, we are back to stage one. It's a terrible thing. So make it holistic.
All right. Let's look at now the Nation newspaper here. One of the similar headlines from the Vanguard that we just touched down on. Gunmen sack 3 Ebonyi villages, kill herbalists and others. We've already talked on that. Let's look at now the issue of autonomy for the judiciary. As the federal government says, no going back on financial autonomy for judiciary and the legislature as well. And governors ready to make policy work, says Lalong. And Gbajabiamila says Nigerians should save the local government system. So does it now seem like what Johnson is trying to fight for might become a reality?
We discussed this thing about
last week.
Yeah, last week. Yeah. What they're asking for is financial autonomy. And for me, that's not negotiable. Judiciary is the third arm of government. We don't need anybody to elementary government teaches us that.
Yes.
We don't need anybody to tell us that it's supposed to be an independent body, independent of the executive, independent of the legislation. So what they are asking for, and it's better. That's exactly what I just said about NMA, the Nigerian Medical Association. These guys, they know what they want. We want this financial independence or nothing else. That's one. Now, Gbajabiamila, you mentioned, I read what he said. He was talking about autonomy for local government. He said, don't blame us at the National Assembly because we prepared the bill. But because before we can change that constitution, before we can amend it, we need the third majority of the states to support. And we went through and we sent the bill to all the states of the federation. At the end of the day, came back to us with minority support. So they didn't get two-thirds of the states' houses of assembly to pass that bill into law so that there will be autonomy for local government. So the man is saying, don't come to blame us at the National Assembly, go to the state assemblies. And then you now get to ask yourself, why will any state house of assembly sit down and say there should be no autonomy for the local government? It's a very simple answer. And we shouldn't run away from it. Because every state governor, the 36 states of the federation, including those in PDP and APC, they rely more on the funds, on the allocation coming to the local government. That's what they do. In short, there are some states that once the allocation comes for the local government, they collect it. They ask all the local government chairmen to submit a list of workers and paid. After that one, they now look at it. If I like your face, okay, Dan, you are looking good, okay, take 10 million and go and run things. And that is exactly, and because the executive in each state is the one controlling the legislation, that's why it is very, very difficult for the houses of assembly to support their bill that will give autonomy to the local government. And this brings us to the idea that the constitution we are running is not even our constitution. The very first camp in that constitution is the opening paragraph where you say, we, the people of Nigeria. We didn't sit down to get that their constitution. So we need to sit down and have a people's constitution that will take the sovereignty back to the people, take the power back to the people, that will make the people to determine what happens in this country. It's not just a group of people that came together. Do you think that I will be in a gathering where I want to discuss how to amend the constitution? I will allow that a senator should sit down and collect 1.9 hazard allowance, while a nurse or a doctor will get 5,000 naira in a month. It's not possible. So we need a people's constitution that will really give the power to the people, and that is exactly what is happening here.
Similar headlines as well with the Vanguard from what's happening on the nation. So let's just quickly touch on this one now. Caught my attention. Passengers grown over 100% rise in air fares. There's been reports that there are certain people that connive with these airlines and they buy tickets and sell back to the people at higher rates.
Touting.
And it's still happening till now. So it's still happening till now. Like, people go to the air operators, buy those tickets from them. And we've seen, I even have had a personal experience where you book a ticket online and by the time you're going, they're telling you there are no seats available.
Yeah.
Because they are trying to now defer your flights when you've already booked and you were billed to fly a particular...
Now, Dan, don't let us over-labor this issue. How do you think the aviation industry will be different from the entire country? Corruption permeates every aspect of our life now. So they operate in a corrupt environment. What do you expect something different? They are not angels manning that industry. They are human beings. They are Nigerians. A guy by the counter there sits down. He sees a big man who some 2-3 years ago will come to that same airport looking for cheap ticket. Is now coming with first class or business class ticket. And he knows that this guy has not done any other thing apart from going to Abuja to make money. From a common patrimony. So what do you think the guy wants to do? So he wants to sit down there and then hold the tickets, call it out. Flight from Benin to Lagos that's supposed to be maximum of 25,000. He gives it out to these touts. They go out there, they hawk it. Because you need to do your business in Lagos, you are ready to pay as much as 48,000, 50,000. So they go back at the end of the day in the evening, they sit down and then share the loot. So it's the corruption until we begin to address it from the head. Everywhere you go to, even it's coming even to individual homes. Yeah. So they can't do otherwise. But I think this issue should be addressed, and I'll tell you why. One of the reasons why we are having this rise in this thing is that I think the industry is responding also to economic issues, demand and supply. How many airlines you have? For instance, in Benin City here, you can only fly from Benin to Lagos or fly to Abuja, no other place. How many airlines are coming to Benin? Nobody wants to be on Lagos-Benin road now because of armed robbery, because of kidnappers, because of all sorts of things. So a lot of people that ordinarily would have traveled by road are now looking for money. Okay, let me fly 35 minutes, 40 minutes, I'm already in Lagos. So when you have a number of more people demanding for limited spaces, what do you think will happen? Because, for instance, there's no official announcement that flight has increased to this level, 100% and everything. And then when you buy your ticket, just look at the the printout, the receipt or whatever they give to you. Check what you pay. What you pay for flight is very small compared to other charges that are coming in. That is what is affecting the audience. So we need to sit down and look at that industry. The roads are no longer safe. The ones that are safe are not passable. The one where you don't have kidnappers and the rest, they are bad. You want to travel from here now to Enugu, you are thinking about 6-7 hours. Nobody wants to do that. So somebody wants to, you have a good business to do in Enugu. You want to fly to Lagos and then take a connecting flight from Enugu to, Lagos to Enugu. And people are doing it. Those who can afford it are doing it. And you have more people doing that because of fear of what happens on the road and the rest. So I think the industry on its own is responding to the economic situation in the country, but the government too, the authorities supervising that industry also need to look at it. Because honestly, Dan, if you go to the airport, the touting you see in the airport is worse than what you see at motor parks. as you are coming in, a lot of people are approaching you, asking you different questions. I want to fly Airpeace. I know the stand for Airpeace. I want to walk up to Airpeace Street and buy my ticket. But you see about 3, 4, 5 guys even telling you different
airlines and different fares. All right, let's quickly touch down on what's happening in Edo State National Sports Festival. Looking at the, we're not going to talk much sports, but just looking at the medal table right now, it's on the back page of the Vanguard. Delta State is leading with 103 gold medals, 82 silver, and 72 bronze. Edo State follows closely with 88 gold medals, 80 silver, and 73 bronze. Followed by our neighbor here, Bayelsa, as well, with 41 gold, 40 silver, and 43 bronze. Then next door neighbor to Bayelsa, Rivers, comes up with 24 golds, 24 silvers, and 39 bronze. And at the bottom there we have Imo State with 6 gold, 7 silvers, and 13 bronze. What's happening? It seems the South States.
That's nothing unusual. Bender, old Bender, up Bender. It's still up Bender.
Yes.
When it comes to sports and everything, you give it to the old Midwestern region.
Yes.
Then Bender, then now Edo Delta. You can't take it from them. The guys are fantastic.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And kudos to them. It's unfortunate that Edo State, the whole state, cannot.
And we are coming towards the end of the sports festival already.
It's ending tomorrow.
Yes.
And by tomorrow, everybody will. So Delta has gone away with this one.
Oh, well, probably, like you said, the inspiration the governor gave, a gold medal is ₦1 million.
But if you don't have the talent, the money will there. No matter what, if they promise 10, you don't have the talent, it won't manifest.
All right.
It's also a motivation, anyway.
You get more details from this on Sports Arena with Nosaka Egoma. It has been Newspaper Review right here on Dawn on VOS TV. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Dan Nessie Isimeka. I've been joined by Shi Ayodele from the Nigerian Tribune. Until next time, bye-bye.